Hi, I'm going to share with you now how to interpret the responses of any kind of quiz that you get back. We're talking about math fluency, but this really can be used for any subject area. So, how to look at your responses, what you can do with that information, and then also how you can share this with your students. So, the first thing that you do is you would just go back to forms. And then when I go back to forms, I have all the forms that I've created. So I find the one that I want and double click on it. It will come up. And now you see there's a part for questions where I created the quiz, and I can always go back and edit it. Sometimes I've done this where I've added a different timer because some students need 3 minutes and some students want to try it in 1 minute. So if you have the same form and you update it here, it will update on all the student computers that you shared it with, which is a pretty cool feature. So now I have one response. So all I have to do is click on responses, and it actually gives you 3 different ways to look at this. So one way is a summary, and this is neat because it gives you your average, your median, your range. Also kind of a cool thing that you can show your students. There are parts where you can look at it without the names to just kind of see the bar graph of how your class did. So we only have one person who took it. They scored 2 points, and I have my name and then what I got as my answer. So this is the summary. It will give you a whole class summary if your whole class took it. If you go to question, it gives you each question and then what everybody answered. And then if you go to individual, it gives you the look of the at the entire quiz, and then you can scroll through your whole class and look at each person's individual response. I actually used to use this as an application for jobs. So if the kids wanted to be like the line leader, they would have to give me what job they wanted and the reason. And it was just interesting because you can look through the whole thing. So that's just a random idea. But anyway, so this is how you can look at your kids' scores, and then it will tell you which ones they got correct. It's the same thing that the student will see when they finish, but this is just a way to look through the whole class. What I find to be most useful is this little button right here. You click here, and it creates a spreadsheet. You can name it, or you can add it to one that already exists. I would say just keep adding to it because then throughout the year, you can look at everybody's data. So we only have one person who took it, but if this was a whole class, you'd have everybody who took it here, and then you can organize it. So if I organized it by the name, I could see how many times Erin took the test and how many she got right every time. So just a good tool to look at your data in a little bit more detail. And then finally, the last thing you need to know is how to share this with your class. So when you are done making your quiz, and you're ready to share, you're just going to click up here where it says send. You could email it, but what I find to be easiest is you just click right here. So when you open this send, it comes up to email. You click to the link, you copy the link, and so now over here it just said copied to clipboard, so it's copied. And then I like to use a site called tinyurl, which is just tinyurl.com. I don't know of any other site that does the same thing. I'm sure they exist if you have another one, or if you want to do a QR code, that might even be easier now that I'm thinking about it, but I've just always done it this way, so that's what I'm showing. So I just hit Command V to paste this giant link, and I'm just going to call it Fluency 19. And let's see if that's available. And if it's not, then I can try something else. But the point is you just want to make something that you will remember and be able to use. Yeah, that one is not working. So they gave me a different one. I would like something that I can remember and easily type. I'm just going to call it Cotillo 2019. That's my last name. And the year, hopefully nobody else has that, so we can move on. Okay, great. So now when I go to my student computers, or if I have older students and they're typing this in themselves, they would just have to type in https tinyurl.com/Cotillo2019. Sorry, you can see I have 1,000 windows open and my computer is not going very quickly. So I type this in I hit search, and then it will just automatically direct me to this form that I made. So you can have kids bookmark it on their computer, or you can also add it to the home screen of an iPad, and then they always have this. And like I said, say you made this fluency quiz in the beginning of the year, and your kids have taken it 25 times, and you feel like they've already mastered those facts. You can always go back and you can change it. The link will remain the same, it won't change. You can also change the timer, you can add timers, or you can make more now that you know how to do this. So that is how you use forms to interpret the answers to fluency and other questions, and also how to share. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions, and good luck. Bye-bye.